2 Megapops is an achievement in Balloon Towers Defense 6, where you need to place down a tower, and that single tower needs to accumulate more than 2 million pops throughout rounds 6 to 100. And today, as you can see by the title and thumbnail, we're going to be doing this with a tier 3 tower, the Destroyer. Very bizarre, but this thing has some insane fire rate. So let's place down our wonderful Buccaneer and let us go. We place the Buccaneer in the center bottom of the little pond here, so they can attack Moabs on this log here, and then over here where the other 2 logs are. It has that kind of vicinity where it can target the Moabs' hitboxes, so there we go. Once we get to around 10, we can place down Geraldo. We're going to place him at the very end of the track, just for some emergency clear up if needed. But we're mainly after Geraldo for a lot of its power-ups, actually. Sharpening Stone, Jerry's Fire, Invisibility Potion, and around 94 Pickles as well for those pesky fortified balloons. Whichever order fancies you, we're going to go faster shooting first, then we're going to go to Grape Shot, and then Double Shot, then Hot Shot. Just like that. Or if we can't afford it by round 24, then we'll get Invisibility Potion first, and then the necessary balloons after that. Grape Shot has arrived, and soon Double Shot will be here, so we'll get twice for projectiles, which I think is an insane upgrade. Someone commented on my Inferno Arena 2 Megapops guide that they get a bit bored and repetitive of Resort as a map to do these challenges on, and I do agree that I do play Resort on the sheer majority of the time, but what I like to try and do is present a guide in which you can follow, and then you'll be able to replicate quite easily yourself if you would like to pursue it yourself. So I'm not going to try and do it on like the hardest map possible. I'm not chom levels of skilled at this game, but I like to think that I am a competent player, but not like in the top 50 in the world sort of thing. But we can't get Destroyer on round 24, obviously, so we're going to have to put Invisibility Potion down first before we can pursue the Destroyer. But hey, we might even need to put down an Alchemist so that we can deal with some of these next 3 rounds. Mainly for like round 27 when a sheer amount of PS is required, really, and purple balloons can be annoying. I think it's the Hot Shot property of the grapes that makes them immune to, well, sorry, the Hot Shot property, it makes purple balloons immune to the hot shots themselves. Not necessarily the grape, but the hot part of it, possibly. Or unless it's both aspects, actually. Let's see. Can we go through this entire round without needing an Alchemist? And the answer is yes, actually, which is excellent. Destroyer is here, and that is going to be it for the upgrades on our Buccaneer. No more upgrades required. No aircraft carrier. No carrier flagship. We'll do the carrier flagship on a more difficult map, because the logs, we're going to dedicate this to the Destroyer, because it needs all of the space required in order to do this challenge on. So next up, I'm going to say, actually, we're going to get a radar scanner first, so that we don't have to don't need to utilize on a invisibility potion for a good while. The only reason we'll pursue it later is to get the increased attack range. Excellent. We can get radar scanner before round 36, so we don't have to deploy down another invisibility potion as a necessity. This is what I mean. Without radar scanner, the Destroyer wouldn't be able to target the camo regrow green balloons on this round. Yes, lots of properties so early on. And we will be getting ourselves the lovely jungle drums so that its attack speed is increased. Next up, Permabrew. No, not Permabrew, but Strongest Stimulant Alchemist. Place us far away from the track as possible, but still within the range of the Buccaneer. Well, I say far away from the track, just far away from the left side of the track. Berserker Brew, and now the Destroyer will be able to do more damage against the Moab that's going to spawn out on this round. So Strongest Stimulant is next, then it's going to be Overclock, and honestly Overclock is such a huge powerhouse for a tier 3 tower, because even if you somehow forget to summon it, it's going to take a good while for the overclock to disappear on a tier 3 tower because it has more than 100% uptime. I think it's like 120, 125% uptime on a tier 3 tower, so you got a long way to go before it disappears off completely from this tower, which is very handy. Also, I forgot Stronger Stimulant is in play now. Lovely. Or should I get... Now, we're going to get MIB next before overclock. I don't want the darts to be blocked by leads, and I don't want the grapes to be blocked by purple. So with this, we have a bit more of an insurance policy when it comes to these pesky balloons at times. Place the overclock out of the way on the track so that all of the work can be done by either one of the other 3 towers, and we won't be placing any more towers down for the rest of the game. I usually like to give a bit of a hint as to what towers I put down throughout the game in the thumbnail itself. If you look at the sides, you can see like either like the Overclock, the Alchemist, Geraldo, the MIB and stuff like that. Geraldo can still hit Moab class balloons, but the damage itself is going to be incredibly minuscule. Yeah, this is definitely attacking super duper fast. First BFB of the match. How will we fare against it? Very good. And by the way, we're going to be doing this 2 Megapops challenge with a tower that costs just above 3,000 monkey monies, which is insane. Now, do we need Jerry's Fire for this round? The answer is going to be no. Do not need Jerry's Fire at all. Let's see about the other 2 waves, which look to be a bit more plentiful, but nothing that we can't handle. And that wraps up 63. That wraps up 63. Thank you very much. Do I need some support in order to get through all this? Or additional support from Geraldo? Fortified Moabs can be a little bit of a tricky situation, especially when it comes to like the fortified ceramics, but still not a problem whatsoever at this given point in time. We're using Logs' extreme track length in order to fully utilize the power of the destroyer with some hot shots. So far, the only other tier 3 tower that I can think that can do a 2 Megapops is the Sun Avatar. Like, just think about it for a quick second. I don't think there would be any other kind of tier 3s that can possibly do this sort of thing. Like, tier 4, the gunship could possibly do it. Not the Apache Prime, but like the gunship which is before the Apache Prime. Like, that could possibly do it. Like, again, we would need to do it on logs so we can fully utilize the length of the track. And you'll be able to put down either the Homeland Defense or the Permabrew. Or just Permabrew and Call to Arms would be probably more than sufficient. Although with the Heli, I think that requires a bit of support. Whereas with this, because of the length itself and the fact that it can shoot out of both sides of a boat, I don't think we're going to need any other towers placed down throughout the entire game. Sorry, it's not called the gunship, it's called the dart ship, but it's close enough. It's a kind of a ship with guns on it. It just flies about and does helicopter things. Lots of fortified ceramics, but because there's not enough of them, it's not going to struggle against them. So, there we go. Let's see, round 75, I feel like this is the time where we're going to need to apply Jerry's Fire because of the sheer number of PFBs on here and the amount of PS required in order to affect all of them, which might be a bit too much for us at our given point in time without a Jerry's Fire in tow. So that's going to be necessary, I feel. Let's see. Keep on overclocking the destroyer. The rate of fire definitely makes it super duper ultra fast. Let's see. Oh, I was about to select the gear icon up there. Okay. But I think we're good. Okay. Put that there for round 76. We're going to really need that glue in order to slow down all of these because they're going to regrow at a stupid rate to a point where it's going to become uncontrollable. Oh, they're still... Okay, that's going to add a number of regrows to the overall pop count. So we're going to have to do some sums at the very end of all this so that we can still get 2 Megapops. The amount of regrows you get, you divide it off the 2 Megapops target tower in which you want to achieve. You don't target on, let's say, the Alchemist, but no, you don't do that. Or Geraldo. Use it on, in this case, the Destroyer. You not divide, you subtract from the 2 Megapopable tower. Now, we don't need glue for round 78, so it's going to use up all of these rainbows with a few of these ceramics. And that's going to do justice, actually. We won't need other things to support the scenario. Thank you, Jerry's Fire, for being the main support that the Destroyer needs when it comes to other forms of attack. So, 20k, or sorry, 21k away from the Perma-Brew, and then we go to Quarter Arms, and then the wonderful Homeland Defense. And that is all we're going to need when it comes to upgrades to go through all of this. Okay, so can we do this? Are we going to run out of PS at some point? Nah, we're good. We're very, very, very good. Now, the number of these regrow rainbows could be an issue, but as long as we have the overclock in place, we're not going to have an issue with these pesky regrow abominations. Regrows, if you just leave them damaged but not popped completely, they will come back to haunt you. Guarantee that. They will come back to haunt you. Let's see. Still doing that, and round 79 is going to be completed. Yeah, we're going to put the extra range on it now that it's level 14, so that it can always pop balloons over here whenever the Alchemist's Berserker Brew, the stronger stimulant, is applied, which I feel that's going to be a huge help. See where the range is now? Now it can no longer just hit Moe class balloons, but it can also pop ceramics over here as well, which is lovely. Let's see if that goes down there, and keep applying with overclock, and there we go. I don't think there's been a single 2 Megapops one that I've done where I have excluded the overclock. It is such a necessary nah, I'm not going to risk it. We need something just a little bit more in order to help us out, and I think I know what it's going to be. There's only 1180 away until we get the better sharpening stone.
Let me check my stock.
I wonder if we could still try and do this without any other kind of support, because that was really close. Like, some of that was incredibly close. So let's try and do this again, and hope for God the Alchemist can keep applying the strongest stimulant to the Destroyer whenever it needs to, because I feel like at times it neglects its only target there. Or maybe we could just need to change the targeting on it at any given point in time, but again, I'd rather not. I'd rather just handle things as we have here right now, but it may come back to bite me. Let's see, that's down there. Just keep applying back the overclock. So I say keep applying back Destroyer to the overclock. How does that work out? Let's see. Please, for the love of God, pop everything. I do not want a repeat of this round, but things are looking super...
I have something new.
How is that time not an issue? Some RNG involved there, for goodness sake. So, yeah, now a sharpening stone, which is going to not only increase the pierce of the darts, but increase the damage as well. Every little helps, as a big supermarket company would say. 81. Are we going to be able to deal with all of these ceramics? I think that's going to be an affirmative yes. Despite the fact there's more RBE on round 81 than 80, the RBE is more dispersed into weaker balloons, which means we can handle them more... Sorry, handle them all more independently, rather than trying to deal with them all in one massive clump. Can we afford Perma-Brew on this round, or beginning of the next round? We'll just have to wait and see on that one. Might struggle a bit with these fortified balloons as we prevail through this. Yeah, but fortifieds are a little bit of a menace. Do not... Oh gosh, we might have to restart this round actually. Yeah, I'm not feeling confident whatsoever. This has been present since the debut of Geraldo. Whenever you exit and then re-enter a game, the sharpening stone not only loses its counter, but it's permanently applied to that said balloon, which is cool, but it's a bug. And I'm not sure who would be able to explain it best, but it is a little bit of a bug, I'm not gonna lie. So, what do we do here when it comes to support? Now, we're just going to try and wean it out and see where we go from there. Like, I like to think there's a little bit of RNG involved when it comes to this, but who knows? Oh, come on. Really? When I was doing a test game, this round wasn't an issue whatsoever. Well, our invisibility potions run out, so this might be the key in order for us to get through all this. So, next time we need to apply it is on round 97. So hopefully this will make the difference that we need in order to prevail through this round. Just a little bit more attack radius, or the ability to pop balloons in general. Oh gosh, they're still making it very far onto the track. Come on. You've got to be kidding me. Like, if it would just hit a little bit more, we'd be able to do that. This will hurt us against non-fortified balloons, but with fortified balloons, I feel like we're definitely going to need it. Some pickles for the wonderful destroy. Now let's see how we get along with the combined power of pickles and the invisibility potion. We're going to suffer when it comes to regular balloons, but it's the fortified balloons which are giving us the most problems here. So I wonder if this is going to be the difference that we need in order to get through all this. So at the moment, increased damage to fortified balloons. On the next round, or sorry, the next level, Geraldo will be able to deliver jars of pickles, which do even more damage, even more destruction against the fortifieds. At the moment, yeah, these fortified ceramics are going down way easier now, so I'm actually really grateful that I managed to get that in place. But against regulars, the attack speed loss is annoying. Like, that's mainly why I like to not put down the jar of pickles, because of the attack speed drop, which is very, very bad for a tower which has a very, very high attack rate, which is a destroyer in that case. So we've got the perma brew up, which is absolutely wonderful. And now, gosh, now I wish I didn't equip the pickles just to save that bit more money, but I feel like in the long run, or the long term, that jar of pickles was all the difference that we needed. The even better Jerry's fire is now applied. More destruction can now be ensued upon the balloons. Next up is Call to Arms, which honestly is not going to take that long now, considering we're in quite a late game now, round 86. It's not going to take long to generate heaps amount of money that we need in order to pursue the next thing, which I've already said is Call to Arms. 4 ZMGs on this round. Let's see how this destroyer handles. Again, a 3,120 monkey money upgrade is going to plow through 4 round 87 ZMGs. Yeah, just like that, the round is just poof, done and over with. Yes, a tier 3 tower can do this challenge. How impressive. The only non-tier 5 tower we've done so far, if you watch this chronologically, or all my videos chronologically, is the Dark Champion. But then again, that rivals most tier 5 towers anyways when it comes to power, so it's not really much of a competition, but it's just a matter of fact that the advantages of a tier 4 over tier 5 is that the overclock applies for 100% of the time, rather than 75 or just 70% of the time. Not quite too sure how much, but it's definitely not a 100% time on the tower that it's selected if it's a tier 5 one. Let's see, round 90, DDT territory. Let's see what we can do against... Oh, Call to Arms is here, lovely. What if we needs to do at the beginning of round to make this worthwhile? No! That's all good. With Call to Arms, our attack speed and pops are increased by 50%. Pops as in damage or pops as in pierce? Because it's a very generic description with when it just says pops. Like, attack speed is self-explanatory, but pops, That's not explanatory whatsoever. That's really generic. Unless that's the amount of pops we get per balloon, but that would be stupid. Like, for 2 Megapops, you would always perceive that if you get 50% more pops, so rather than 2, you get 3. Round 93, more DDTs to exterminate. And pretty cool. Like a lot of tier 5 towers, they would make it further along the track than this behemoth of a tier 3 tower. I wonder if there's a tier 2 tower which is possible, but I would not want to pursue that. Like, the only vague possibility could be the Plasma Blast, but again, I do not want to pursue that kind of path and put myself down that insanity. Like, Buccaneers are some of the most diverse and versatile towers in the entire game. They can pop all different kinds of balloons, and you don't have to worry about particular weaknesses because bottom path for camos, middle path for leads, top path for Moab class balloons. Unless you get to DDT, then you need to have carrier flagship, because aircraft carrier cannot pop DDTs even with camo detection. Like, you need to rely on an MIB or upgrade to carrier flagship in order to actually pop leads. I've done testing of that because I've been trying to do a 2-tower chimps with Psy, and when I got to round 90 with the aircraft carrier, the missiles do nothing against DDTs. Absolutely nothing, which is a shame. For anti-Moab missiles, they are pretty pathetic against DDTs. Let's see. Call to Arms is doing a lot of work against the DDTs, which is why I put it in. Oh, we're going to suffer when it comes to the bad, but we're going to need this for around 98 and 99. Yeah, I should have been paying more attention and apply the pickles before round 95, so that on round 100 we can benefit from the additional attack speed. So we might fail this now on this particular run. In this particular video, absolutely not, but on this particular run, that could be the case. That attack speed loss could be the difference between life or death in this scenario, which is not what I want. By the way, that needs to be reapplied, and then, yeah, that's still a bug, because the sharpening stone is still there, or at least the symbol is there, the effects of it are still there when it comes to visuals, but the actual buff itself might not even be there because we've passed around in which its effect would drop off anyway. So let's see. Call to Arms there. It's going to take ages for the fortified ZMGs to come to pass, so we can use that time. See, look how slow they are. ZMGs are perfect for ability recovery because they are the slowest of the most powerful balloons. I think they go at the speed of a red balloon, but I'm not quite too sure about that. I am not a Wikipedia of this game. I am only a player with limited knowledge of this game. Let's see. Call to Arms again. We will not need it again until like mid-round 98. Let's see, round 98, the biggest round of the entire game. Gonna pull that down. We're going to be popping these two down over here so that it knocks back the balloons just a little bit, just like with that fortified Moab. I'm going to place the other two down over here so we get as much coverage of the track as we possibly can. Let's see. Yeah, Call to Arms now. We're going to really need additional power. Yeah, this is wreaking havoc on the fortified balloons, which is nice. Really nice. Now we have no more fortifieds to deal with aside from the fortified DDTs on the next round. Let's see. Oh, there was a fortified one there somewhere. Maybe that was one that got chucked back from the creepy idol. Will we need to cast another one, or are we going to be okay with what we are doing? Permabrew is doing work when it comes to its buffs. Like, we're really getting through with ceramics without any given issue. But these Moabs, they might be an issue for us. But the creepy idols are chucking them back, which is nice. We want them to do that. Okay. Let's put down the remaining two creepy idols. Excellent. Keep that in place. yeah, call to arms is necessary here. And then homeland defense. We wouldn't be able to get those initial money in the first place if we didn't do call to arms. But we'll be able to have homeland defense for this round. Lovely jubbly. So what are we missing? Oh, nothing really, actually, now. We've got Sharpening Stone. We've got the increased range. One be Invisibility Potion. We've got Jerry's Fire. We've got Pickles, which is, well, I prefer not to have, but it's there. It's there for our benefits. Let's see now. And watch the massacre commence. Where's the bandages on this whale? You're gonna go down, my gigantic behemoth of a friend? Sort of friend? Well, not really friend, let's see. We're gonna commence the homeland defense right now that this is all in play. So,
Yes, my friend.
tube of glue for these. Place down 2 more on the track just in case if they're needed. And yeah, we're there. 2,025,941 pops. Also a nice instant monkey there. Let's see. So we have about 4,000 regrowers here. So that'll take us down to 2,021,000 pops and a little bit more. So we are definitely in the 2 Megapops range here. But that was really cool. I loved this video. It's the first tier 3 I've done of the 2 Megapop scenarios. And I know we've done it on the easiest map of the game. But I feel like it's probably one of the only maps in which you can do it on viably. Unless, like, you are an ultra-skilled player at the game, which you can do it on, like, Dark Castle, which I'm like, how the bloody hell can you do that? How the hell can you do a Tier 3 2 Megapops tower on an expert map? I don't get some people. Some people are just on another level. Like speedrunners, but on another level. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know what Tier 3 or Tier 4 tower you'd like to see for me to do next, sorry. Next up is going to be Super Maelstrom, so that's going to be very exciting to see. And that'll be 3-3 on the tack shooters of this game, when it comes to the Tier 5s, that is. Let me know what you think of what other towers you'd like for me to do in the future. Someone's keep requesting either the Rod or the Mad, which I'm very, very hesitant to do because of their sheer price and also the factor of getting there in the first place. So there's that. Also, if you're buying anything from the store itself in the game and you would like to put down a creator support in order to support a creator, then please by all means put down flare balloons and then hit confirm, and then that tick will be there and then you'll be supporting me. Thank you so much for watching and take care of yourselves, everyone.